Louisiana State Senator Mike Walsworth is caught on video asking at a hearing about evolution and about whether evolution should be taught in Louisiana schools. He asks whether E. coli evolves into people. This is very weird video. I'm going to play it for you. It's probably better that kids don't see this. I'm just going to let you know that in case you want to get them out of the room or something like that. Let's get a look.
Let me ask you a question. There's not an experiment that you could
Yes, there is
have
an experiment
in the classroom that would say, here's Darwin's theory of evolution,
There
and
is
this
an
proves it without a
Yes,
shadow of a doubt.
I will tell you about that. They have done experiments with E. coli bacteria, and they have taken those E. coli and they have taken different containers of them and they froze them in time, so that
How long of time? How long?
They just froze them over generations, like years.
Right.
Oh, okay.
But this is an experiment.
Okay.
And so then they let the E. coli that are in the different vials continue to evolve.
Okay.
And then they take this group and they freeze it. And then they take this group and they freeze it. And then you can take all of them over time and compare them. And you can see how the E. coli have changed over time and how they evolved. But what's really
They
interesting...
evolve into a person?
No, they
Okay, I'm just asking how to get there. I'm just trying to figure out how to get there.
Right.
But go ahead. I mean, so they
Yeah,
change.
it's going to take you a while
I'm
to
just-
figure it out. I'm thinking Senator Walsworth. The correct response to does the E. coli evolve into a person would have been, Senator, I know of only one such case where that's happened, but I'm not going to reveal that person's identity.
Yeah. I love it because the woman behind the woman explaining the experiment, as soon as he asked that question, just does one of these.
Right. It's yeah. Forehead to palm. So here we have a situation that is very unique. I think what we have here is a disturbing situation, but increasingly these creationists have fewer and fewer places to hide, right? And what we're seeing here is one of the few places they believe they have left, which is, listen, you may be able, not physical places,
Oh, okay,
but that's a
okay.
good,
Yeah.
this idea that just because you can point out microevolution doesn't mean that macroevolution exists. In other words, mutations in amino acids or something like that, and the E. coli, okay, but this doesn't mean that we really have evolution where humans evolved from something that was different from humans today. So this is just nonsense, and this is what we're dealing with. And tomorrow on the show, we're actually going to talk. We're going to have our interview tomorrow is about Louisiana schools actually being voucherized, even when they are teaching creationism is not even at the top of the list of what's concerning, but that's tomorrow. What do you think about this, Natan? I mean, I don't know that we can really... How do you fix something like this?
Well, what I want to get down to is, like, what evidence is there for air? I've never seen air before, and I think that we should definitely look into that because, I mean, if you can... It might take me a while to understand it, but if you can explain it to me, maybe we can get to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Look, at least there are teachers there who are pushing for evolution to be taught in these schools. And we know that in Louisiana, one school board banned the teaching of creationism as
But it
science.
is crazy that high school science teachers are personally brought in to like make a case for it's insane.
So
It's
they're
insane.
senators.
To state senators, yeah.
What I think is ridiculous is that these guys are asking these questions with an attitude that implies that, oh, it's totally ridiculous to believe in evolution. And it's absurd because these states in the deep South are at the bottom of the barrel. If you look at the 50 states in this country in terms of education quality and college degrees and et cetera, et cetera.
But Natan, that's because of when the students go to college, there's anti-Christian, anti-creationist bias.
They don't even get to college because this is the education they're getting. The high school graduation rates and college graduation rates in these states are way lower than the rest of the country.
It's because of anti-Christian bias and the war on Christmas and abortion and gay people
There you go.
and climate change.
Of course.
Yeah.